Duxbury. Wilkins. Haitley available. Space behind him, which Chamberlain now tries to use, but by then, 3 men had got into that space. So we've had an hour of the match. Still the 1 goal dividing the team, scored by Acosta from the penalty spot. Here's Montelongo, lending his weight to attack once again. And Cabrera with the header, but he did too much. Hitting it wide of the far post and not causing Shilton to make any movement. But it was well played through, but he really launched himself at it, got a lot of the movement of the head and gave it too much. Watson. Duxbury. Martinez. Perdomo, Aguilera. Acosta's got away on the left. If anybody sees him, England could be in trouble. They've all been pulled into the middle. The ball bounces a little kindly for them, and here is John Barnes to Mark Chamberlain. And the free kick has to be given, although the challenge was not a good one. The ball had bounced a little bit unkindly for Chamberlain, and he'd lost control of it. And Uruguay poised to make a substitution. A substitution which explains why we've seen so much of Luis Acosta, who wanted to make his presence felt, because perhaps he knew he was going to be replaced by the 18-year-old Ruben Sosa of Danubio, a young man of whom much is expected. Produced so many great players over the years. I reckon something like 1,500 players have gone abroad to other leagues in 25 years. People like Schiaffino in particular. Good player he was. Haitley.
Yes, Ricky!
Chamberlain. Got a lot to do to get away here, but that's a well-clipped cross. The header again not troubling the goalkeeper, and Allen I think a little disappointed because he was coming in from behind and may have been able to get a stronger header. Maybe his angle was a little bit better too. Carrasco. Substitution is a straight attacker for attacker. Chamberlain denying Sosa a sight of the ball. The free kick given against Acevedo. A very demonstrative referee asking them to calm down. And Acevedo and Haitley both shown the yellow card. Acevedo, who has the looks of a choir boy, but sometimes reacts in a way not expected of that fraternity. Pouring the players just into the area. Goalkeeper backs away. Really haven't given Rodolfo Rodriguez the opportunity to show what he's capable of. Personally, I'd like to see how good he is at bending to pick the ball out of the net. This is Kenny Sansom. Haitley. Barnes. just not enough on the ball to get Kenny Sanson in. Good play by Aguilera. Seems to have got it all. He's quick, he's aggressive, he gets back and does his defensive work, so he's not concerned about working hard. This may not be true of Carrasco. The crowd's not used to this. How many paces is the referee going to allow? Predictably, he's given a free kick to Uruguay, although Ray Wilkins did nothing at all except stand in front of the goalkeeper, which is perfectly allowed in the laws of football. The laws and the interpretation of them does vary quite a lot between Europe and South America. Barnes, little nudge off the ball. No, said the referee, shoulder to shoulder. Cabrera getting the better of Brian Robson. A disappointing ball. Carrasco. Perdomo. Martinez. Bit of room for Montelongo. Sosa and Cabrera down the middle. Montelongo linking with Aguilera. Kenny Sanson ends it. John Barnes gives it away. Again, Barnes giving England trouble. And they've got men over here. Sosa with the header straight into the arms of Peter Shilton. Sosa and Cabrera going together. The youngster, I think it was, who got the header. But they built a nice attack on the right side where their greatest threat has come. But in the end, Shilton able to take the ball quite comfortably. The header coming from the youngster. Hately. Free kick. Against Carrasco. Uruguayans played 15 matches last year and were difficult to beat. They won 6 and drew 7. One of the defeats was by Scotland at Hampden Park, and Duxbury with the daisy cutter across, which was allowed to run. The other defeat that Uruguay suffered was also away in Chile, where England, of course, go on Sunday, to play on Sunday. There is some dispute by the Chilean players about playing in that match because of money they're owed by their clubs. The clubs say they're owed money by the National Association. Aguilera. Montelongo. Cabrera waiting for the header, and he might now get the chance as Watson missed out. Disaster for England. .5 minutes of the second half gone, and really that has to go down as a bad goal from England's point of view, because the cross looked as though it should have been comfortably cleared. Cabrera was prepared for the header, didn't expect to find the ball comfortably at his feet, and he scored with no problem at all. So 2-0 to Uruguay, and optimism really stifled by the error. Barnes for England, and he's tripped, and out comes the yellow card. England prepare to bring on a substitute. It was Montelongo who was shown the yellow card. And Clive Allen comes off, and the substitution is a surprise because Tony Woodcock was thought not to be fit, but he's brought on for the last quarter of the game in place of the man who'd come in to replace him. Sansom with the kick, and over the top. England dressing every player tonight, and the agreement was that 3 substitutes, as well as a goalkeeping substitute, could be used. But I don't think too many people thought that Woodcock would be fit enough to play. Clearly Bobby Robson, who has shown signs of thinking that Tony Woodcock of Arsenal needs pushing a little bit with his injury problems, decides to bring him on. Wilkins caught in possession by Carrasco. Martinez. Good header, under some pressure by Duxbury. But even so, some nice play by the Uruguayan left back. Woodcock. Always conscious of wanting to give every bit of 100% Tony Woodcock, and when he feels these niggling injuries, it seems to affect his attitude, but he often plays far better than he gives himself credit for when he's carrying a knock. Barnes got away this time. Hately waiting. Oh, that's a vicious curl, but it's very, very well taken. He got a nick off the defender. Acevedo taking no chances. Watson coming up into the area. Good use of chest, but it just didn't quite fall kindly. Carrasco to Cabrera. Played early. Good cover by Kenny Sansom. Wilkins. Bennick. Much of arrogance and Cabrera. Woodcock. He's showing plenty of mobility. Robson. Hately. Wilkins. Robson had gone forward well. Wilkins, that's too strong, because the left back, Kenny Sansom, was offside. And you could certainly look at this contest in a couple of ways. England would feel that the penalty was harsh, and the second goal came directly as a result of an error. On the other hand, they've had more problems than they had against Brazil. Omar Barros is right in saying that he only has 4 first choices in the Uruguayan side. Then if he can get back his best players, they must have some chance of making an impression in the Mexico World Cup. Martinez. Acevedo. Chamberlain. Wilkins. Watson. That's the nobody. No doubt which side has produced the better quality of passing. And another substitute is Vasquez of Bella Vista. Barnes. Woodcock. Cabrera. Looking to get a little 1-2 going with Sosa. Chamberlain. Free kick given for the challenge on him. And still playing with plenty of purpose and belief, even if it's not quite going right for them. Now John Barnes. And he's got his free kick right on the edge. Ray Wilkins at pains to point out to the referee he doesn't want any time wasted. Just a quarter of an hour of the match remaining. Uruguay 2, England 0. And Vasquez waiting to come on to replace Montelongo, the player who had taken his place after missing the final stages of the South American Championship. So both substitutions have been of that nature. That's a right back for a right back. Montelongo goes straight to the dressing room. Robson asking for the referee to have the ball back. May see Terry Fenwick try the curler. Instead, Brian Robson takes it. There's Hately. Oh dear. He was offside anyway, which he would certainly feel rather pleased about. Robson and Fenwick there. Robson in the end took it, and Hately moved offside, and fortunately for him so, because he made an awful hash of it. But there's no way that the free kick should be from there. Several meters back. But it's allowed. Hately. Oh, really was asking the impossible there. Sosa and Watson. Again, a player of pace, and what a good cross that is. Aguilera, Cabrera. Dangerous play given by Cabrera. He attempted overhead. They really do have a number of quick players, and this young man who's come on is as quick as any. Use of elbows, first by Gutierrez. And he's Sansa making the forward run, but once again, Ray Wilkins just not finding the yardage, the range that he was hoping for. That's been one of the differences between Wednesday and Sunday. It's an England throw, which Kenny Sansom would take. Barnes, held by Vasquez, not unfairly. Still Barnes. Corner. Got a flick from Barnes. And the Uruguayans coming roaring out. They're outnumbering the England defence, but Aguilera on that occasion didn't make good use of it. Sansom, straight to Gutierrez. Chamberlain. Just going into the busy zone, but finding John Barnes. Lately wants it in line with the far post. Kenny Stanson on the overlap. Woodcock. Ray Wilkins directly into the goalkeeper's midriff. Was struck very cleanly from some distance, and been said before, but one wishes that Ray Wilkins would do that more often. Have some slightly better opportunities than that one. It was too straight. Coming up to 10 minutes remaining for England to do something about a 2-goal deficit. Carrasco. That's Salazar of Penarol, 21 years old. Another young man to be given a chance. Wilkins. Barnes. Still going. They got very much underneath the shot, underneath the ball rather. And the ball deep into the crowd. And England's cause looking extremely difficult now, Bobby Charlton.
Well, yes, it is, Barry. I think possibly what's happening is what should happen, is that Ray Wilkins and Brian Robson have started to go forward a little bit more. I mean, it is an experimental tour when all's said and done, and you might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. I think whether we get beat 3 or 4-0 doesn't really matter. We're going to lose this match, it would appear. If we are going to rescue it, the only way we can do it is by getting more people forward. Ray Wilkins and Brian Robson really have had insignificant matches by their own standards, and here's an opportunity for them to maybe get something. If we can get 1 goal back, it might just ruffle them a little bit, and we might get something else. But let's have a go anyway.
And while you've been talking, Salazar has come on to replace Carrasco. And here's Sosa showing his paces. Style that Bobby Robson has opted to play does put a lot of pressure on the 2 Manchester United players in midfield. A shot there from Vasquez. They haven't really quite been on song, as you said. Three up for England. Mistake by Martinez. Barnes. Robson. Acrobatics from Bossio. Here's Salazar. Bumping into his own player, but 3 against 3 here. Cabrera in possession. Salazar. Sosa in the middle. Aguilera. Still Uruguay keep possession. England ball holding firm, and the shot way over the top by Daniel Martinez. Duxbury. Down to 7 minutes left on the clock. Waitley. Chamberlain. Woodcock. Oh, this is similar to his position against Scotland, except there was rather more defence around. Aguilera. Sosa down the middle, good cover by Duxbury. Bossio. Salazar. looking a little weary and being slightly stretched, but Ray Wilkins back. Woodcock. Bobby Robson, having won his 21st match in charge of England, looks certain to lose his 22nd. Sixth defeat. Acevedo for Uruguay. Crowd not liking the fact that the home team is running on the ball and wasting time. 5 minutes left. Watson's clearance. Vasquez. Barnes with the throw. Sansom. Good run down the middle by Robson, but the ball not finding him. Duxbury. Chamberlain coming to the touchline ahead of him, but drawing Martinez as well. Woodcock looks a little disappointed. The England players who really felt that after beating Brazil, they were capable of going through this tour unbeaten. It's been a setback from that point of view. Bobby Charlton said it's very much a learning tour, and although they're going to lose this, there's certainly not been the lack of confidence that we saw in matches against Wales and indeed against the Soviet Union. Maybe at the end of a long season, the England manager has found that the motor of his side, the two players we're looking at there, the motor of the side has lost a little bit of its fire. Martinez, appeal for handball by 3 England players, but the referee not giving it. Duxbury's had a tidy match tonight. Three minutes remaining. Crowd in the main staying to see the end. Salazar. Perdomo beaten by Brian Robson. And Perdomo didn't like the way that he was beaten because Robson was stretching for it, but the reaction really was somewhat unnecessary. It was simply a stretch for the ball, and the foot did come up a little high, but it was nothing vicious. The referee's given a free kick and shown the yellow card. Posse of Uruguayans around him, but I think the name that he's made a name note, probably only a number note, is that of Brian Robson. Aguilera on the ball. Salazar just to the right. Cabrera, the big man, on the edge of the England wall, jumping up and down. And Aguilera tries the chip and it got deflected off the wall for the corner. Stilton applauds the fact that the wall did its job. Well, England were beaten here in 1953, 2-1, won here in 69, drew in 77, and losing 2-0 on this occasion. Ball just won't run for Mark Chamberlain.